This time it's Monday, so of course we're on a trading day, and BBIG is holding up very, very nicely so far. Now, don't get me wrong, guys, there is still about 2 hours almost exactly to go until the markets do close, so anything can happen. But in this video, I want to share a few of my opinions on what we have seen so far today. And again, if we do have any changes towards the end of the day, don't worry, they will all be included in tomorrow's video. You guys will also know, usually I do like to film a bit later on, but because I haven't been uploading in the last week due to illness, I'm trying to get a couple more videos published per day and try catch up on some of the things I wanted to cover in the last week. So ultimately, if it sounds like a good video, make sure to leave a like on it and subscribe. We're going to be doing the technical side of things and then sharing my thoughts and opinions. It's not going to be a detailed fundamental analysis. I know you guys who have been here for a while know how we do it, but if you haven't been here before or if you are not subscribed, make sure to subscribe, as we do talk about BBIG pretty much every single day. Again, this channel does not consist of financial advice, and I am not a financial advisor, so please do understand that. Do your own research and come to your own conclusions, and ultimately be aware of the risk, because in my opinion, BBIG being one of these quote-unquote short squeeze stocks does carry quite a lot of risk, and I want you guys to be informed of that from the get-go. But like I said, do subscribe, and one last thing that I want to mention is that we are currently doing a fundraiser for Save the Children. We're trying to give a lot of money to the children going forwards into Christmas. Again, the deadline can be extended, but currently it is set to end on the 24th of December. If you guys can donate a penny, whether it's, even a penny, all the way up to as high as you can go, it would be massively appreciated. And again, 100% of funds are going to Save the Children and helping the least privileged in our society. But now that I have said that, we are definitely going to be jumping into the video. Link to that fundraiser can be found just above the title of this video when you watch it on mobile. But basically, guys, when we look at the chart for BBIG, starting off on the simple chart here, a few things are apparently clear. The first one that I want to focus on is the actual price of BBIG, which is sat at 532. Now, if you guys haven't watched my video from yesterday, one, I still recommend that you go and watch it, but two, I spoke about the fact that I would like to see BBIG remain above the $5 mark, simply due to the fact that if we drop below $5, we have kind of lost our previous support. And today, whilst we are seeing a mixed story, we actually opened up on a price of 519, and coming up to where we are right now, we are still up on the day. But one thing that I'm happy to see is that the price of BBIG has remained above $5, and yes, we do appear to be finding a level right now where we are comfortable, well above the $5 exactly range. So ultimately, anything that we see from here is good in my opinion. Just what I do not want to see is us drop below the $5 mark. That does remain to be the case going forwards into the rest of the week, but I just think if we can see a bit of this slow and steady growth, I would still remain happy. So with BBIG over here, I appreciate the fact that we aren't seeing too big growth. We're up by 2.31%, which isn't a small amount overall, but when you look at it, it's only 12 cents, and we have seen much bigger in BBIG in the past. But what we're looking for now, in my opinion, is nothing more than a strong comeback with BBIG. That doesn't mean that it needs to explode overnight just to be strong. It means that we need to see that growth slowly but surely step back into the stock, and I think that is what we are potentially seeing right now. Now, as I mentioned, it's only Monday, and it's not even been a full trading day, so is it too soon to say whether BBIG is going to go back up? I absolutely do think it is way too soon to say. Like I said, what I'm looking for is a floor at $5. So in a worst case scenario, I want us to hit that. Again, if we drop lower than 5, I would start to be a bit concerned, talking about if we are losing interest in the stock from the community. But so far that does not appear to be the case. And one thing that I spoke about going forwards into Monday is the potential that people are hearing the bad news that happened over the weekend, that people are selling their position. And yeah, of course we are probably going to have a few people selling as time goes on. But ultimately, the movement for BBIG today is going upwards, which is still good. And it shows that, again, we are still having people buying the stock, we are still having people holding the stock. So in my opinion, the momentum has not necessarily gone away right now, which is good. I think the smart people, or the people who believe in BBIG, you could say, these people are actually seeing this as an opportunity to load up on the stock. And again, that potentially could be beneficial to them. Again, it is unclear right now as to what the stock is going to do, but people who are more speculative are going to be loading up on the stock right now, because like I said, the lower you get in with this stock, the higher risk it is, because we don't know where the new supports are going to be, or if we're going to drop lower. But of course, that the sooner you get in, also the potential for higher reward. But like I just said, the counter argument to that is the insane, or at least the increased risk, I should say, when looking at this stock. So yeah, The past 5 day trend, which is dropping, does appear to be ending right now, which is good, and the fact that this stock is actually moving up today is fantastic. So the support that we are finding right now, I'm a lot more happy with it than where we were before. And again, what I want to see now going forwards is I want to see these small but significant steps up on the day-to-day basis. Zoom out to the past 1 month chart and you will see exactly what I'm talking about. So for example, today's candle is green. It's not green by a large number, but clearly it is still showing us a little bit of green. And again, seeing this going forwards, up and up and up, slowly and steadily, would still make me happy. And again, I want to finish this week in the green. If this week ends up a green week, I think it will be a very, very good sign for the stock. I think it will show me at least that there is still a lot of interest in this company. That is what I am ultimately looking to see with this stock right now. Again, would I buy it right now? It is 50-50. I think there is an argument to be made for this point being a fairly okay point to load at, but obviously there is also the same argument that I could make as well, like I just said, that this one may not find a support here for very long and we may drop lower. So it depends on your risk tolerance, as I'm sure you guys will understand. But yeah, let's have a look at the technical indicators and I'll talk about what I'm speaking about more at the end of the video. So on the 1 day so far, you'll see that we're not too far off the moving average. This is because we have had this consolidation period towards where we are right now, coming up to 2/2:30 p.m. So, you know, that's not too bad. The RSI figure is at 52, which is also quite neutral, and that's a good sign too. And we're seeing the trend on the MACD being quite neutral, but a little bit bearish as time does go on. So this doesn't really mean anything to me. I'm not really too interested in the 1 day data. For me, I'm looking at the 5 day, especially the 1 month data. So on the 5 day, we can see that the RSI is coming down to 46 right now. That's not too bad considering that back here we were at 20, so it is definitely making its way up in the past 2 trading days. That's a good sign. We're seeing the trend on the MACD become bearish just due to this step down that we have noticed most recently. Come across here, you will see as well that when we look at this stock, the moving average is almost exactly where we are right now, which isn't too bad of a sign. It's a good thing going forwards as well. It has just jumped up a little bit, but you would expect this to be moving around as time does go on. When you come up to the moving average here, you will notice that we are off that, and the simple reason for that is because we had this spike up, then we had the drop down. It clearly caught our moving average out, and we didn't really have time to catch up. This is not uncommon with a moving average. It's almost never true to where we are right now, simply due to the fact it is a lagging indicator, and you would expect it to be a little bit behind where we are or even above where we are, depending on the scenario related to any particular stock. So what we're coming to now is the 1 month data, and I think this is the all-inclusive in my opinion. We can see the majority of the past month's share price movement, and we can see how the trends are looking for the stock. And where I want to start us off is looking at the moving average here, which is up at 637. Now, again, this doesn't really play too much relevance in my opinion. Of course, it's going to be a lot higher than where we are right now, simply due to the fact, like I said, that we have had this big drop, and it is a 50-day moving average. It does lag, and it's going to take time to catch up. What we're seeing down here for the volume today is interesting. The volume is on about 21 million, and that is relatively low. Now, for these relatively flat candle bars that we have had in the past, it's not too low. It's not like a very much unseen volume. It's not extremely low, but it is a lot lower than what we have noticed in the past week or two. So for example, on these big growth days here, we're seeing volume of 74.9. On this day, we're seeing volume of 109. But actually, when you come down to here, we're seeing volume of 18 and 22 on these relatively flat days back here. So you can see 21, it's not uncommon, it's not really too low. It is about average for a day that doesn't move BBIG too much. But if volume was up a little bit, it would be better in my eyes, because it would show that actually people are buying the stock, people are trading the stock more. But again, this could all step up going forwards into the week. The fact that we have volume that isn't extraordinarily low is a good thing. And again, the fact that we have the stock price actually moving up on top of that is a fantastic sign too. So the RSI figure for this 1 month period is at 42. Which is okay. It's only 8 points away from neutral, so it's not anything to be worried about in my opinion. Bear in mind it was a bit lower because of the drop, and now it is starting to level out and come back up, which is always a good sign. And the trend on the MACD is obviously bearish. You would expect this, but it's not bearish by too big of an amount. You will see it does have that potential now to come green again if we have 2 or 3 more green candles, in my opinion. And again, that would set us back on the bullish trend. But clearly right now, we do appear to be diving into the bearish trend on the MACD, but this is also a lagging indicator, and it is something that you would expect to see. This one kind of a little bit lower than where we are right now, because of course it hasn't really had the time to adjust due to the small growth that we have had today. So ultimately, what do I think to BBIG going forwards into the next few days? Well, this time I really think the next few days are going to be a crucial period for this stock. Bear in mind, guys, this one could have gone either way. We could have seen all of the momentum die out of this stock after the big moves downwards that we had in the last part of the week, but actually we didn't see that. We've seen a small increase in price. It's not too big, don't get me wrong, but it is still an increase nevertheless. We've seen the volume figures stay relatively okay to what we would expect, and again, a few of the indicators are starting to adjust and come back down to more normal levels now, which is a good sign. And don't get me wrong, that's only really looking at the technical side of things. Fundamentally, you know, there are a few things going on with the company, but I think where we are with BBIG, or the way that I see it, most people are not really here for the fundamentals. I think a lot of people do see this one as a momentum play slash squeeze play, and if the fundamentals of the company are great as well, that is obviously going to be a fantastic sign and an additional bonus to this stock. But I think most people are here for other reasons, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, as I have said before, but it does mean that the way that people play the stock is inevitably going to be different to what you would play a traditional play. Now again, some people are probably looking at this from a fundamental standpoint, and that's completely fine. Again, it's definitely not a bad fundamental company in my opinion, but I think from where we are, from a technical standpoint, it could definitely be an interesting stock going forwards. I think, like I said, we want to find some support above 5, which we have done so far. We want to see the support last going forwards into the next part of the week. We also want to see a bit more growth coming into the stock, which would be fantastic as well. Keep it growing, that would be great. We want to see this one break, hopefully past $6 again. That would be very nice, because we have had a bit of difficulty breaking past that in the past, and of course we have dropped so much in the past few days, so I think we could definitely be starting to see a little bit of recovery with BBIG. Now, when it comes to growth on this stock, if we are going to see any growth, which again is 50-50, it is a speculative thing to say, but if we are going to see any growth, I'm not expecting massive growth. I think, you know what, massive growth isn't necessarily the best thing with this stock, for no apparent reason. Because this is what we saw in the past week slash month. We had people getting hyped and hyped and hyped about certain catalysts which were going to send the stock to the moon. And of course, when those catalysts didn't turn out the way people thought they were going to, a lot of people kind of got out of their position immediately, and it definitely caused a lot of panic. So ultimately, with BBIG, when it moves up quickly, yes, there are profits to be made. Yes, it could be a potentially great swing trade. But obviously, when it moves up quickly, we get that FOMO, which also can be a good thing, but it also can result in people not really knowing what they're buying and getting a bit dissuaded by news which they perceive as bad, or get even dissuaded by small dips in price, as we have seen in the past. So ultimately, it's treacherous territory with BBIG in my opinion. I think the next few days are going to be crucial, as I mentioned, but of course I will be providing you guys videos on a daily basis as to what we see with BBIG. But thank you for watching this one. I'll see you all again tomorrow. Goodbye. Thank you for watching through till the end, but let me tell you about our Discord. So on your screen you will be seeing the N2S Finance Discord. Obviously it is split into multiple sections. Basically at the top we have updates from me and all that kind of good stuff. If you scroll down a bit further we have the main sections where we focus on cryptos, SPACs and other hot stocks including penny stocks, even stable growth stocks as well, and we even have a special AMC GME chat. If you scroll down you can see some research and DD from the community. We also have funny memes and you can see actual contributions from members down here. And again, if you do join us, it is completely free, link is down below. But if you do want to become a Patreon, you will actually get a pink sticker which will be displayed on your name. So your name will come up in pink as mine comes up in red down here, and that will show that you are a Patreon. But other than that guys, you can join completely for free down below. You do not have to pay anything if you do not want to. Thank you for watching, see you soon.